Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Firstly, Kenya has proposed a treaty to de escalate the situation between Ethiopia and Somalia. What is this treaty about? What are the main points? Tensions rose between Ethiopia and Somalia at the start of this year when Ethiopia signed a controversial MOU with Somaliland to gain access to the sea through Somaliland and establish a naval base there in return for recognizing Somaliland as a country. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopian military a few hours ago issued a statement. The military claims that a Fano commander has been killed in the ongoing ground operation against Amhara Fano militia members in the Amhara region. Who is this commander? Where was he killed? Is he top tier commander? Details. Firstly, viewers, we know that since the signing of Ethiopia Somaliland MOU on the 1st of January, Ethiopia Somalia relations have been going through up and down. Relations remain strained. Ethiopia tried to contact Somalia. PM Abiy tried to talk to Hassan Sheikh. Hassan Sheikh refused to talk to Abiy. Then PM Abiy involved Kenyan, Ugandan, and Djibouti's presidents to mediate. PM Abiy visited Kenya too. Hassan Sheikh visited Kenya as well. Situation could not be diffused. Rather, we saw that around a week ago, Somalia declared Ethiopian ambassador persona non grata. It issued a deadline to Ethiopian consulates in Somaliland and Portland to close. But yesterday, Kenya invited Somalia's president and Hassan Sheikh arrived in Kenya. Their meetings have been held. Meetings about regional security, about fight against Al Shabaab, etc., etc. Now, reportedly, Kenya has put forth a treaty to resolve the dispute between Ethiopia and Somalia. Interestingly, Kenya is proposing a regional a treaty with involvement of not just Ethiopia and Somalia, but a treaty with involvement of all regional parties, including the regional forum IGAD, Intergovernmental Authority on Development. Ethiopia, Somalia, Kenya, Djibouti, Sudan, Eritrea, South Sudan, etc., are part of IGAD. And Kenya is proposing that a regional treaty should be signed, monitored by IGAD. IGAD is drafting the treaty. Djibouti is on board too. Djibouti is handling Ethiopian imports and exports for decades. Now, when Ethiopia wants to start using other ports too, obviously Djibouti will lose lots of revenue. That is why Djibouti is being taken on board as well. Kenya has also been interested in attracting Ethiopian imports and exports. And Ethiopia has been considering the use of Kenyan, Lamu, and Mombasa ports. Uh, Ethiopia has made it clear that it wants to gain access to ports, more than one ports. It does not want to use only Djibouti's port. Ethiopia has been accusing Djibouti that Djibouti has been blackmailing Ethiopia. It has been hiking port fees. So that is why Ethiopia should have full rights on a port through a lease and then through the establishment of a naval base. That is what Ethiopia agreed with Somaliland. But in return for that, Ethiopia agreed to recognize Somaliland as a country. That angered Somalia. It called that MOU violation of his sovereignty and territorial integrity, calling Ethiopia. It said that Ethiopia was trying to annex Somalia's territories. Somalia has claims to Somaliland. It says Somaliland is part of Somalia. Now, it will be interesting to see how both Ethiopia and Somalia respond to this regional treaty. Will they agree? Will Ethiopia agree? This regional treaty will give landlocked countries like Ethiopia access to ports on fair commercial terms. Ethiopia won't have any lease agreement. Ethiopia won't have full rights on the port. Maybe it won't be able to establish a naval base there too. Maybe it won't be able to have the full rights on corridor as well. But the terms which will be agreed will be fair. And IGAD will guarantee, it will protect the treaty, it will protect the implementation as well. So we'll see a monitoring body established to have an oversight, and that body will have participation of IGAD. It won't be just bilateral treaty between Ethiopia and Somalia. Let's see, we'll have to wait how Ethiopia will respond to this treaty. Maybe Ethiopia is on board. I think before putting forward this solution, Kenya obviously consulted Ethiopia. I think Ethiopia is on board. Is Somalia on board too? Hassan Sheikh was invited to Nairobi. As I said yesterday, talks have been held there. I think Somalia would agree as well. No problem with that. If Ethiopia gains access to any port in Somalia for commercial purposes, why would Somalia object to it? Somalia is only objecting to the MOU because Ethiopia wants to recognize Somalia as a country. Ethiopia wants to establish a naval base there. I think Somalia is not against Ethiopia gaining access to Berbera port in Somaliland. So let's see. Kenya could be definitely a potential beneficiary of this regional treaty because Ethiopia will obviously use Kenyan ports too. Ethiopia is planning to use Kenyan port to import fertilizers in coming weeks, reportedly. It is becoming increasingly difficult and it takes more time uh, for imports and exports to be handled at Djibouti's port because of the ongoing instability in the Red Sea, attacks by Houthis on commercial ships, Americans, Westerns hitting Houthis as well. That is why Ethiopia wants to start the use of Kenyan ports. Let's see how the situation unfolds. But Kenya wants to de escalate the situation. De escalation suits Kenya. Kenya will be able to attract Ethiopian imports and exports too. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopian military a few hours ago claimed that it had killed a Fano commander. Where was this Fano commander killed? What is his name? Is he a top tier Fano commander? You know that the senior most commander killed by the military so far was killed in South Gondar around a month ago when Mubande Abate was killed. Tier 1, top tier commander. Another Fano commander is not top tier commander. He was a local level Fano commander. Military claims that he was killed in Gojam around Bahirdar. And military claim that he has been operating around Bahirdar, leading operations. But a few hours ago, he was killed in a military operation. His name is Getachew Etenafo. Getachew Etenafo. Not a very familiar name. It's not that he's a top tier commander, but it shows that near Bahirdar, military is clearing the areas around Bahirdar. The Other senior Fano commander was also killed along the main road, Bahirdar to Gondar road. And this commander has been killed also close to Bahirdar. Fano fighters managed to enter Bahirdar several times in the past few months. Military is now trying to clear not only Bahirdar internally but externally as well. Outskirts of Bahirdar, all areas around Bahirdar are being cleared. Combing operations are being conducted. Fano fighters are also making claims. They claimed a few weeks ago that they had killed Gadisa Dirro, a top officer, senior officer of Ethiopian military. But the claim could not be proven. Rather, Gadisa Dirro appeared on Fana TV. Later, Ethiopian military issued a statement as well from Gadisa Dirro. Military said Dirro is alive, and that propaganda was spread. False claims were made by Fano groups about the death of Gadisa Dirro. Gadisa Dirro's death could not be confirmed. He is alive, but Bubante Abate died, and now Getachew Etenafu has been killed in Guj.